right. What is going on, faithfuls? Your boy Mike, Nothing But Niners, here to bring you guys a little bit more breaking news. Not as exciting as what you guys are used to, but we promised you anytime there was a signing or some news going on with the Niners that we would bring it to you first. So my man Nick is here with me. What's going on, Nick? How you doing?
What's going on, Mike? I'm doing well, man. A little under the weather today, but exciting news. Not really with this signing, but exciting news around the NFL with everything that's going on as well. Super excited for free agency, man. Excited to see what John Lynch has up his sleeve.
Yeah, it's officially NFL tampering period. It's underway. And so we are hearing a lot of rumors, big things happening around the league. But we want to talk to you guys about some Niners news. Now, before we get to that, we want to let you guys know where to find us. The website is www.nothingbutniners.com. Feel free to stop by there. You're going to see a bunch of articles. You're going to see the videos there that we produce for you right here on YouTube. You're also going to find our podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, any major podcast platform, we are there. So you guys make sure you stop by and check us out over there, okay? You'll find the Facebook page, Nothing But Niners. Stop on by, click the like button if you haven't done so already. Also, you will find access to our Snapchat, and that is also the same handle that our Twitter is, which is Nothing But 9ERS. So, guys, Nothing But Niners is everywhere. And again, our purpose is to bring you guys the latest and breaking news and plus our opinions, okay? So the Niners made two big moves today. Big moves because kickers are people too. And the 49ers sign, we're going to start with that one, punter. All right. Now, we're going to play a little game here on who can pronounce the last name right. All right. Is it Locke or Locke? Who knows? But the 49ers sign free agent punter Jeff Locke to a 1-year deal. Nick, your thoughts on this, man? Does this mean this is the end of Bradley Pinion?
And, Mike, that's exactly when you said, what do you think of this? And this is what – I'm being a little conspiracy theorist here now, like kind of like you are when we do our podcast most of the time. What does this say for Bradley Pinion's tenure? Because he's got 1 year left on his contract. And it may not be anything. It may just be bringing somebody in just for injury, stuff like that. But, I mean, the guy's stats aren't that bad. I mean, he's not too much of a journeyman. He spent 2013 through 17, I believe, in Minnesota. He was a 5th-round draft pick with Minnesota. So 13 through 17 with Minnesota, and then 17 he was on Indianapolis's practice squad and then got picked up by Detroit because of their punter went down and got hurt. So he went over there. Now he's a 49er. So I'm not sure on the contract detail of money, but I know it's only a 1-year deal. But, I mean, what does this say for Bradley Pinion? Me personally, I love Bradley Pinion. I love his leg. He does kickoffs for us. He's got a strong leg as well as punter, so he's going to be kind of hard to beat out. So this may just be a depth signing.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. I think it's more about camp more than it is even about depth. I don't think he's going to make the 53-man roster when it's all said and done. We have our own 5th-round pick at punter, and that's Bradley Pinion. Bradley's been doing a hell of a job, but the fact of the matter is once these rosters fill up to 90 men, you have to get multiple kickers. You have to get multiple punters. You got to practice kickoffs. You have to practice punts, and you're a lot of times doing that on multiple fields. So I think that is what this is. That's not to say that Bradley Pinion's job is a lock and key, guarantee, but I do think that's what this is. Just something for the camp purposes. I am not worried about Bradley Pinion's future here with the 49ers. That being said, there was another signing today. All right. Raheem Mostert signs his exclusive rights free agent contract. And what that means is that he cannot negotiate with other teams. And I think that's kind of important that Raheem Mostert can't negotiate with other teams. He's not likely to be a ball carrier here. I think we all know that. In the event of an injury, maybe some depth issues, fine. Raheem Mostert is a guy who I expect to be, when healthy, active on the 46-man roster for game days, but I don't expect him to be a ball carrier. Raheem Mostert is a special teams ace. You noticed the difference in our special teams unit immediately after he went down last year. And so I think that this is why it's so important that the 49ers don't allow other teams to talk with him. That guy was the difference in 10 to 15 yards per kick return for us. So I really, really like us signing him back. Nick, what do you think that means, his $705,000 contract for Raheem Mostert?
I like it, Mike. I'm with you. I definitely agree with you and in agreement with you on the special teams. Definitely wasn't the same once we lost Mostert. I mean, it's all good with having Trent Taylor back there or another shifty receiver doing those type things, punt returning and stuff like that. So I'd rather have Mostert back. His averages were really, really good. And he could step in and be fresh legs in the running game as well. Not saying he's going to carry the ball 20 times a game, but we really don't know because, I mean, we really don't know. I know Kyle Shanahan loves Mostert. He used him a lot in the preseason as well as regular season in the backfield. He was rotating all three of those, Hyde, Mostert, and Breida. And really, we're going into the season right now with no number one back. We don't know who our number one back is going to be yet. I mean, I know free agency is Wednesday, and like Gohard said, and Paris Bradford in the comments was Wednesday can't get here fast enough. We need to see what's going on. Guys in the chat, the Niners are going to be linked to a lot of people just because of what our money is right now and stuff like that. So, yes, I see the excitement about Norwell. I see the excitement about Robinson. But we got to keep our eyes open, our ears peeled, and just listen to what's going on. But, Mike, back to this Mostert signing, man. I really like it. It's depth for special teams. I got on players that – like Joe Williams, who don't play special teams. And that's one of the reasons why he didn't make that 53-man roster last year, as well as injury. But I think it's a good move for our special teams unit. He'll definitely bring some fire to us.
Not only is he going to bring fire, I think it's going to encourage some of these other running backs that are on the team. The young guys like McNichols and, like you said, Williams when he returns. Look, man, if you have this guy who's been in the league for 3 years coming in here and trying to earn a roster spot based off of just special teams, these guys have to be inspired to do the same thing. McNichols isn't going to hang around if that's the case. He's got to do more than just carry the ball and with the fumbles and not block and all. And one of my favorite things about this signing, where he cannot negotiate with other teams, is that the only way someone can qualify for this is if they have 1 or 2 years accrued. Not 3 years, just 1 or 2. And because of his injury happening so early in the season, the team was able to take advantage of that little loophole there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to just give him this exclusive rights contract. So for the people who don't know the difference between the different kind of tenders and contracts and free agent rights and all that, exclusive rights is when someone who's been in the league who is a free agent, they don't have 3 years or more accrued of actual time playing in the NFL. And because of his injury, he wasn't able to get that last year's accrual. So he is eligible for this exclusive rights franchise tag. And that's what he did. He signed it, luckily for us. And he's going to be here to make sure the special teams is good. And like I said, encourage the other young guys playing behind him.
Yeah, and he kind of reminds me of like a Kasim Osgood. Like he was a hell of a special teams player. He was a journeyman. I mean, Mostert's not a journeyman because he's only been in the league, 2 years? This would be his third, I think. So Kasim Osgood was that special teams guy, though. He brought that fire. He was always, always making those tackles, always getting downfield as a gunner. Was a great gunner in here. So, I mean, that's pretty much everything I have on Mostert. Do you want to go over some of these questions or comments real quick? You got time?
I can't really see them, but I mean, if you want to throw 1 or 2 in really quick, it's your call. Go ahead.
All right. So Gohard said, I got a question for you guys, kind of off subject, but what do you guys think about the whole number 25 and Richard Sherman coming over to the squad? How do you guys see that working out with Jimmy Ward?
So when we discussed that on the other video that we did, oh no, I'm sorry, we discussed that on the podcast that we haven't dropped yet. So you guys got to be tuned in for that. I'm not going to answer now. It's my little clickbait for you guys, and make sure you listen. We did a podcast with a special guest, Dylan DeSimone of 4thand9.co. So you guys make sure you be on the lookout for that. Hopefully I can get it all edited tonight, and we can get that posted up for you guys. So you will be able to see that or hear what we think is going to happen between Richard Sherman and Jimmy Ward with the number 25.
Okay. Good. All right, so I got 2 questions. 49 Bloodline said, "What's up, y'all?" Mark Espinoza, he has 2 questions. He says, "What are your guys' thoughts about the Bills trading up to number 12 from 21? And is Mostert going to be primary return man when Victor Bolden returns? What do you guys think about that? What's your thoughts, Mike?"
I think when Bolden returns, he's going to assume the role of the return man. But it's more about gunner on special teams on the kickoffs. That's what I'm more concerned with, because the coverage unit was more important to me than his than what he brought to the table as far as actually returning the ball. I love him as a gunner, and so that's a very valuable position. You know, that Kasim Osgood was a hell of a comparison. That was a great comparison. So yeah, that's the value that he brings to this team. You know what I mean? And the other question was, what do we think about the Bills moving up to 12? That just tells me that if quarterbacks start going off the board, they're right behind us, and they might be willing to move up 3 spots. So that actually helps us out. The Bills are one of those teams that people know needed a quarterback in this draft, and being within striking distance at 9, if we get 2 quarterbacks off the board before us, they might get a little antsy and don't want to sit tight. So it could benefit the 49ers in the long run.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty much all that's in here, and it's just a couple talks about Breida. Somebody said hope Breida is our starter. Said Breida's better than Hyde. I wouldn't say that he's better than Hyde. They're definitely 2 different style running backs. Breida's definitely too small to be a third down back. I agree with you, 4'9". And let's see. So according to Adam Schefter on his podcast, Carlos Hyde turned down an extension during last season. So they're talking about that with Carlos Hyde. That's interesting, Mike. What do you think that Carlos Hyde is going to have a huge market, or do you think there's still capable chance of us bringing him back?
I think the answer is both, honestly. I think that there's going to be teams in play for Carlos Hyde. He finally had a healthy season, and he was splitting carries. So it's kind of counterproductive to it that he didn't get 1,000 yards in his only fully healthy season. But at the same time, it was also his first time really being a split back like that. The reps were split up a lot between him and Breida, and even Kyle Juszczyk. So he's not used to those kind of breaks, but at the same time, he wasn't used to making it all 16 games. I do think that there are going to be teams in play for Carlos Hyde. But the flip side of that is I think that the running back position has been devalued so much in the NFL that he's going to realize the market isn't as exuberant as he would hope. And he'll end up, maybe the same thing I said about Eric Reed, is that he'll test the market. Maybe he's not getting the offers that he once thought, and the Niners might offer him a team-friendly deal that he'll be inclined to take. So I think there is a possibility of Carlos Hyde coming back. Doesn't look good. If I had to put a percentage on it, I would say probably about 25% chance that he returns. But I do think that there's going to be a market for his talents, yes.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you said. I think the only thing that hurts Carlos Hyde here is his pass catching ability. He had the most drops from a running back last year. Not to say that he couldn't do better, but for Hyde having a healthy season, he still had 962 yards with split back, being able to be a split back instead of getting all the carries. He didn't have that bad of a season. There's some things he needs to work on: pass blocking, pass catching, out of the backfield and stuff like that. But I think that there will be a market for him, and I'm in agreement with you about 25% chance that he comes back. So, but yeah, man, I'm super excited to keep up all our ears and everything for this. All this good breaking news that is coming.
So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Just a reminder again: Raheem Mostert signs his exclusive rights, free agent tender and our contract, and we also sign a punter in Jeff Locke, or Lockie, depending on who you are, not to be confused with the MLB free agent pitcher. All right,
hey, guys, make sure you keep your eyes out for our next podcast. We'll be getting that out to you soon. You can follow that at Talk 49ers with Nothing But Niners NBN on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play, iHeartRadio, all those good things. Check out the website, nothingbutniners.com, as well as our YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right down there. Set that little bell for notifications. We're coming to you as soon as we hear breaking news, as well as our Instagram, Nothing But Niners, Facebook page, Nothing But Niners, Snapchat, Nothing But 9ERS, as well as Twitter, Nothing But 9ERS as well. And above all else, guys, stay faithful. We out.